Around 70,000 years ago, the archaeological record changes its language. Suddenly, tools are no longer just tools. They become specialized, designed for specific tasks, crafted with foresight rather than habit. Blades replace blunt edges. Bone and antler appear alongside stone. Objects are shaped not only to function, but to last. Then come the symbols. Beads drilled from shells found hundreds of kilometers inland. Ochre pigments ground into fine powder, not for survival, but for meaning. Abstract markings carved into rock, patterns with no clear purpose, yet repeated again and again. These are not accidents. They suggest something radical. Humans were beginning to think beyond the present moment. They were communicating ideas that could not be seen or touched. Identity, belonging, memory. And as these changes appear, something else happens. Humans begin to move. Not slowly, as before, but decisively. Groups of Homo sapiens leave Africa and spread into the Middle East, then Europe, Asia, and eventually Australia. They cross deserts, they navigate coastlines, they adapt to environments no human had ever faced. This expansion is breathtakingly fast, and it carries consequences. Within a few thousand years of modern humans arriving in new regions, other human species begin to disappear. Neanderthals vanish. Denisovans fade into genetic traces. Entire branches of the human family tree collapse. Why? There is no clear evidence of a single catastrophic war, no signs of superior physical strength, no obvious biological advantage that explains such total replacement. The timing feels wrong. If Homo sapiens were simply better hunters, why did this advantage wait so long to emerge? If intelligence was the key, why did other intelligent humans fail? What we see instead is a pattern that troubles researchers. Wherever modern humans go, ecosystems change. Large animals disappear, landscapes are reshaped, and human groups grow larger, more coordinated, more aggressive in their expansion. This does not look like slow adaptation. It looks like a threshold being crossed. Something had tipped the balance, not in muscle or bone, but in behavior, in cooperation, in the ability to act as a single unit far larger than a family or tribe. The mystery deepens because this transformation does not happen gradually across regions. It erupts, almost everywhere at roughly the same time, which forces an uncomfortable question. Was this progress or the beginning of domination?
For nearly 200,000 years, human life followed a quiet rhythm. Stone tools changed slowly. Camps shifted with the seasons. Generations lived and died without leaving much behind. For tens of thousands of years, there was no art, no myths, no symbols carved into stone. Just survival. And then, around 70,000 years ago, that silence broke. Across Africa, and soon across the world, humans began doing something no species had ever done before. They painted animals on cave walls. They buried their dead with care. They carved symbols that served no practical purpose. They traded objects across vast distances with people they had never met. In evolutionary terms, this change did not creep in. It arrived suddenly, too suddenly. No new species appeared. Human brains did not dramatically increase in size. Bodies remained largely the same, yet behavior transformed so completely that archaeologists still struggle to explain it. The question is not what humans became. The question is why it happened then and not earlier. What changed inside the human story 70,000 years ago, and why did that change reshape the entire planet?
Long before this moment, humans were already human. Anatomically modern Homo sapiens had existed for at least 100,000 years before the shift. Their brains were just as large as ours, their hands just as capable, their vocal anatomy already suited for speech. And they were not alone. Neanderthals thrived across Europe and Western Asia. Denisovans adapted to harsh climates. Other human species walked the same landscapes, hunted the same animals, and survived the same dangers. These were not primitive creatures. Neanderthals made tools, they cared for the injured, they understood their environment deeply. In some ways, they were physically stronger than us. Yet something was missing. For hundreds of thousands of years, technological progress moved at a glacial pace. A stone hand axe design might persist unchanged for 100,000 years. Knowledge did not accumulate. Each generation largely started over. There were no clear signs of storytelling, no shared symbols, no evidence of large-scale cooperation beyond small groups. Evolution had produced intelligent bodies, but not an intelligent world. This long stagnation is what makes the moment 70,000 years ago so unsettling, because whatever changed did not just improve survival, it altered how humans understood reality itself. And once that shift began, there was no turning back.